We know we have Orville season 3, but now it's moving to Hulu? Yes, we have season 3 of Orville. We've known that for a little while, and of course, Comic-Con is going on right now, and we've heard from here. Let's switch over to here. The Orville to move to Hulu for season 3 from Fox. So McFarlane announced Saturday at the show's San Diego Comic-Con panel that season 3 of the sci-fi series will air exclusively on Hulu rather than Fox as the first 2 seasons. So how do I feel about this? Do I think this is good? I think this light is out of position. There we go. So I go back and I look at some other shows that have been enabled and given the ability to run for longer time. Like I found this list, found new shows after cancellation. Now the Orville is not canceled, but what I think Hulu gives us is a longer lifespan. So some of these shows like One Day at a Time, which I never watched, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which I never watched, Designated Survivor, which I never watched, Lucifer, which I watched a couple of episodes, Nashville, some of these other shows have all been able to give either later restarts or continue on for several years. Of course, one of the most famous ones down here on the bottom of recent is Last Man Standing, which I've watched pretty much every episode of that they actually mocked ABC, saying that, you know, in the beginning, in the first episode when it started back on Fox, that, shows don't change channels. They never do that after they get canceled. They'll never come back on another channel. That would never happen. And then, boom, there it is, another channel. Especially once it's like a very high-rated show. I mean, Last Man Standing was like, you know, definitely in the top 5, I think, when it was airing, you know, every week. I haven't looked that up, but it was doing very well in the ratings. And then ABC decides to cancel it, probably because, you know, Tim Allen's more conservative than not or something. Who knows what it was. Somebody just didn't like it, and boom, it gets moved to Fox, and Fox takes it up for now going to be going on 2 more seasons. So who knows? We should get a few more after that if it stays good in ratings. All right. But what do we know? So what do we know of Hulu, right? So Hulu, here's this from Wikipedia. Here's kind of the percentage and the history, a little bit of how Hulu ownership is gone. So we've got NBC Universal, Fox, and Time Warner, and this other company called Providence that are all here, that slowly, as time goes on, like Disney buys in the second column here, then this company called Providence sells off. Then all we have is a Disney percent, an NBC Universal's percent, and a Fox percent. And then Time Warner Cable buys in. Then we have, of course, recently Disney buys Fox. So now Disney owns quite a bit of it, but NBC Universal is still there and Time Warner is still there. And then now AT&T sells, which is AT&T Time Warner, sells their piece off, kind of splits it between NBC Universal and Disney, and then finally in 2024 Disney's going to own the whole thing because NBC Universal is going to have their own streaming app and streaming provider thing, so they can, you know, everybody's going to their individual streaming services, so they're going to be probably pulling out of there, putting all their effort into their NBC streaming service. So now we're just going to be left in a few years with just Disney. Well, Disney, as we know, later this year is launching their own streaming service, Disney Plus. So why does Disney need Hulu and Disney Plus? So I'm thinking by 2024 there probably would be a potential merger or a collapse into, because as NBC starts their own streaming service, they're going to start pulling their licensing of their shows from Hulu, and now that Fox is all part of it, but so NBC is going to pull their stuff out. CBS already has their stuff going away. Netflix is off on its own. Amazon is off on its own. So Disney's not going to really need to provide the architecture and everything else and the cost for two streaming services. I think that at some point Hulu will be folded into Disney Plus, and Disney Plus will be the streaming service that Disney provides. Well, how does this affect Orville? Well, as we know, shows tend to have a longer lifespan because they can more easily reach their niche audience. When they're on streaming, shows that are on TV just seem to, they want to demand a higher rating and a higher, advertising dollar. I think that as long as we still have Hulu, I think we're okay. I think if it gets to be where Disney dissolves Hulu and brings that back into, Disney Plus, I think that's where things are going to get a little dicey. But that's after 2024, so that would be, after another 4 or 5 seasons of the Orville. So I think we're okay until then. If we get 5 seasons out of the Orville, I'm going to be ecstatic. If we get 7, which would match, all of the Star Trek runs that they had, that's going to be, amazing. So I think we have to watch for this and just be able to see what Disney's doing, see what they're going to be doing with Hulu and Disney Plus, and maybe they will keep both. I don't know. I don't see them doing that, past 2024. Who knows how TV is going to change? Maybe all broadcast TV will be gone by then. Then we'll be just left with individual streaming services. But anyway, I think currently right now how it stands, I think this is good news for the Orville. I think the threshold for getting show renewals is lower. I think we're going to be getting better shows because they're not going to be limited by, some of the TV constraints for, commercial breaks and, episode length, things like that. Maybe we'll get a, 2 hour, instead of having to break the shows up into 2 separate episodes, maybe we'll just get an hour and a half, full episode, instead of the 2 pieces. You won't have to wait to the second part. So, and I don't know if they're going to be dropping them individually, like they were on, as they get them produced, then they would drop them, or if they're going to do it Netflix style where they just drop the whole season. I really hope they don't drop the whole season. I really like being able to have something to look forward to. We watched, Stranger Things. We pounded through that, on 4th of July. We watched every episode on 4th of July, all 8 episodes or 10. I can't want either one of those. We watched all of them on 4th of July. And now it's like, well, now we have to wait till potentially next rumors are next October of 2020 before we get another Stranger Things, which really doesn't lead much to, it's like you get all the way to the episode and then boom, and now you're done. So I really would prefer it, especially with shows like the Orville, that we get them kind of week by week, and maybe there won't be any breaks in the weeks. Maybe we'll just get 12 weeks in the 12 episodes. And maybe this will be, garnering more, maybe even I would think in between time, maybe we could get like some mini episodes where they're just doing things like, hanging out in the cafeteria kind of area and doing different things, and maybe not a full kind of episode, but just kind of a hangout, kind of thing that's for like 20 minutes and they talk about things that are going on, and that would be really cool if we got some little behind the scene things like that, but still in their suits, still in character. And all that could be done if they're on Hulu but not on TV. So I did get an Android Wear watch the other day, and of course the first thing that I did was create my own Orville watch face so that I can, have the Orville with me wherever I go and whenever I look at my watch. All right. So that's kind of my thoughts on this. I'm excited about season 3. I'm hoping that maybe with this announcement with Hulu that maybe the episodes will drop earlier than January, but I kind of doubt it. I'm still thinking it's kind of a January time frame for when they start coming out. I'm just hoping that since Disney still seems to be okay with it, that it's not going to be, taken to the point where it's, like, the redheaded stepchild, as they used to say, that they don't want to support it or give anything to them. I've heard Seth MacFarlane continue to say that they've been very supportive and very encouraged. It's like, well, if you got people watching it and there's tons of views, then you're going to be able to garner advertising dollars. So, and we know that Disney has kind of moved way away from, I guess, kind of the family-friendly thing to how can we get money from people kind of thought in the company, right? Even Disneyland Parks with the new Galaxy's Edge, that was kind of a cash grab that, went bad. The new Lion King movie, I've heard people just say that is 100% a cash grab, and I probably won't be seeing that, but hopefully if the Orville can still continue to get viewers and then get advertising dollars because of those views, then it's going to continue on. I mean, the ratings have been amazing for a show that came out of nowhere, that, I just love it. I have my first comic book, and this to me just means the show's going to last longer as more merchandise and things come out. I mean, companies don't want to do merchandising deals for shows that are dying. Hello, Discovery? Where are you for the figures for Discovery? Where are the comic books? Where's the merchandising for Discovery? I don't know. Okay, or Picard, which has had all kinds of merchandising problems. So that's what leads me to believe, yes, I think Discovery's here to stay. Not Discovery. I hear Orville is going to be here for a while. And Hulu, I think, is a good move. I think we're going to be okay. All right. Thanks for watching this episode. It's been an up and down roller coaster with the Orville for all while it's been on, whether it's going to be renewed and all those things. I mean, us as fans, I think, get a lot of stress over the show and whether it's going to continue on, because it's anyone who has been a fan of original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, maybe Enterprise. Enterprise was kind of a stressful departure from the formula. This is kind of a return to the Gene Roddenberry formula, and a lot of people love that and enjoyed that and grew up with that, and that's what we have today, and that's what we want to show our kids, right? This is a future that could be, right? We don't want to show them a future that's filled with hate and identity politics and social justicing and all that stuff, because that's in your day-to-day life. That's not reality. I mean, I don't go out every day trying to figure out what identity I need to express or whatever. I'm just me, and I want to go meet other people who are them, and just right. And that's what Orville kind of shows me. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching this one. More shows to come today. It's a Sunday, so I'm going to be doing several of them. I got too many things to talk about with Marvel and everything else coming out, so stay tuned for those. Those will be up later on today. All right. Thanks for watching. Take care.